Well, we finally gotten a new episode of The Lion Guard. After 5 months. I really have no idea why the episodes in this season are being handed out the way they are, but I'm glad we finally got more coming our way. But enough about that. Let's discuss this latest episode, Cave of Secrets. This episode revolves mostly around the Guard and Makini exploring the lair more fully, looking at the paintings of the past for clues about how they might be able to defeat Scar. There were a ton of references to the original film, with Timon's hula dance and Scar's defeat having prominent showing. Near the end of one of the alcoves, the Guard found a painting that was obscured by a large boulder, which, after being moved, showed a lion guard of the past going through a network of caves to find knowledge regarding a great evil. The rest of the episode revolves around the Guard making the same journey as the previous Guard, with each of them being tested with regards to their defining trait. Beshti had to use his strength to open the path and to save them all from a spiky death. Ono had to use his keen sight to guide them all to the end of a maze. Bunga had to prove his bravery by walking across an invisible bridge. Fuli had to use her speed to maneuver a crushing stone ball away from her friends. And finally, Kion had to exercise his leadership skills to lead them out of the darkness. At the end of these trials, the Guard found a small pool of clear water in the center of a bioluminescent cavern. This pool provided them with clear reflections of themselves, indicating that the secret to defeating Scar was none other than themselves. Overall, I think this was a solid episode. It was well paced and explored underground areas much better than previous underground episodes have. I also liked its inclusion of Makini, who has become my favorite character to come out of Season 2 so far. This episode did a lot to flesh out the Guard's lair. It showed how big the lair actually is, and showed that it contains secrets of its own. I hope we get to see more secrets in future episodes, because I think the lair has a lot of potential for the story of the show. The trials themselves were a bit of a mixed bag, and I really liked some of them. I think that Kion's trial was the weakest of the bunch, what with him just growling into the darkness so he could lead everyone using a basic form of echolocation. The scene's use of silhouettes did make it visually appealing, at least. I have to talk about Bunga and Fuli's trials, though, since they were lifted almost entirely out of the Indiana Jones films. I've seen references to the swapping idol challenge a ton of times in other shows, but this is the first time I've seen the invisible bridge from The Last Crusade being used in another show. These scenes were well done for the most part, and I really enjoyed how Fuli was able to put a unique spin on the rolling ball scene. Fortunately, we won't have to wait long for a new episode, since this week we'll have back-to-back releases. I don't think this week will take us to the end of the season, however, but the longer I wait, the more I want to know how, or even if, the Guard will be able to defeat Scar.